I still remember the exact second I stopped breathing. It was the moment my little sister Lila looked at the envelope I'd placed on the gift table, curled her lip like she'd smelled something sour, and said, loud enough for the whole room to hear, "Oh." From Elias. How predictable. 78 people turned to stare at me. 78 people who'd just eaten my food, drunk my wine, danced under the chandelier I'd had imported from Murano because she once said it looked dreamy on Pinterest. And in that single heartbeat I felt every year of being invisible collapse into my lungs like broken glass. You don't understand yet. You will. Let me take you back before the wedding, back when I still thought love was something you could pay for in silence. 5 years earlier Lila landed her dream job at the agency. She threw a celebration dinner on some rooftop in Tribeca. I wasn't invited. I found out because she accidentally added me to a group chat titled, Lila's Big Night, VIP only. I typed, "Congrats, sis. Need a +1." She removed me without a word. A week later she posted the photos, champagne, laughter, our parents beaming. Caption, surrounded by the people who lift me up. I was blurred in the background of one shot, holding her coat. She cropped me out of the final version. I told myself it was fine. I bought her a MacBook Pro when hers died right before a presentation. She never said thank you. Just posted, "The universe provides." I paid for her birthday in Soho, $4,000 easy. She told her friends I was just settling the check at the end like owners do. I smiled. I always smiled. I became very good at smiling while disappearing. Then came the wedding. My restaurant haven is the kind of place people propose in. Exposed brick, Edison bulbs, a bar hand-carved from a single walnut slab. I closed it for 3 days so Lila could have her perfect day. I paid the staff triple overtime. I flew in peonies from Ecuador because she was obsessed with the color blush. I built a neon sign that read Mr. and Mrs. Moreau in her exact wedding font. $6,000. Never put it on the invoice, because it was my gift. The night of the reception I stood at the edge of the room in the same navy suit Mom once told me not to wear because it photographs colder than black. I watched Lila flit from table to table, radiant, reading gift cards aloud like an Oscar host. 10,000 from Uncle Richard, gasp, you shouldn't have. Laughter. Applause. Hugs. Then she reached my envelope. Plain white. No ribbon. She held it between 2 fingers like it might be contagious. Oh. From Elias. The room went quieter than I'd ever heard it. She opened it. 1 sheet. Itemized. $21,400 for 78 guests. No gratuity, because gratuity was the original gift, now revoked. Her new husband Julian leaned in. Wait, are we supposed to pay this? I didn't shout. I didn't have to. I just looked at her and said, soft enough that only the front tables heard, gift removed due to tone. Then I walked through my own kitchen, past my own chefs who wouldn't meet my eyes, and out the back door into the alley that still smelled like truffle oil and betrayal. I thought that would be the worst moment of my life. It wasn't even close. The next morning, 6:07 a.m., I sat at my island with black coffee I couldn't taste and opened the books. I canceled every pending vendor payment attached to the Moreau wedding. Florist. Band. Photographer's second shooter. The ice sculptor who made swans, Lila's whimsy phase. I reversed every charge I'd quietly absorbed. By 7:42 a.m. the final tally sat in front of me like a death certificate, $21,400 exactly. I printed it, folded it once, slid it into a new envelope. Then I did something I'd never done in 34 years. I sent Lila an invoice. A real one. Net 10. Interest after. You'd have thought I burned the venue down. Dad called 17 times. Mom left a voicemail that started with, "How could you ruin her day," and ended with choking sobs. Lila's maid of honor posted a tear-streaked selfie, "When family chooses money over love." The comments called me a monster. I muted everything. For 48 hours the only sound in my apartment was my dog breathing and the fridge humming funeral songs. Then, on the third night, someone knocked. I opened the door expecting Lila in tears, ready to apologize or scream, either would have been fine. Instead there stood a man in a charcoal suit I didn't recognize. Mid-50s, calm eyes, holding a leather folio like it weighed nothing and everything at once. Elias Kaplan. I nodded. He handed me the folio. Inside, a notarized letter on heavy cream stock, dated 2 weeks before the wedding. From my parents and Lila. It stated that in exchange for the generous venue gift, they were gifting me $5,000 from the Kaplan Family Trust, as a gesture of gratitude. A check had apparently been mailed. It had gone missing in transit. The insurance company reimbursed the full amount to the family trust. Without ever telling me the check existed. There was a second page. A liability waiver. They'd hired counsel to protect themselves in case I ever misconstrued the free venue as anything other than my voluntary present. Translation, they'd built a legal moat in case I ever asked to be seen. The man, Lila's godfather, apparently a partner at some white shoe firm, met my eyes. Your sister assumed you'd never speak up. They all did. This was their insurance policy against your silence breaking. He paused. I'm here to tell you the policy just expired. He left another envelope. Inside, a single flash drive and a business card that read Emily Roth, Crisis Litigation. On the drive, every receipt I'd ever paid for them. Every flight upgrade, every Uber back when Lila was between jobs, Mom's Nordstrom card I'd quietly covered for 8 years, the Venmo trail where Dad borrowed 12 grand for a roof repair. That somehow became a cruise. Every single dollar. Time-stamped. Archived. Weaponist. Emily's note was one line, they wanted a villain. Let's not disappoint them. That night I didn't sleep. I just sat on the floor with my dog's head in my lap and finally let myself cry, not pretty tears, the ugly kind that feel like vomiting your soul. 2 days later the internet did what it does best. Someone leaked the 83-page PDF. I still don't know if it was Emily or divine intervention. But suddenly #InvisibleBrother was trending. Screenshots of Lila's old stories saying, so thankful for the mystery angel who made this night happen, while pocketing my money. The cake baker commenting, wait, I was paid in full by E. Kaplan, not the couple, before deleting it. Julian quietly scrubbing every photo that showed my neon sign. And Lila. She made her account private, then posted one last story, a black square with white text. Blood doesn't always mean family. I never responded publicly. I didn't need to. Because here's the twist, the one that still keeps me up some nights. 3 weeks ago I got an anonymous email. No subject. Single attachment, an audio file. I almost deleted it. Instead I pressed play. It was Lila. Voicemail she'd left for Julian the night of the wedding, drunk and laughing. You hear glasses clinking, music in the background. She says, can you believe Eli actually thought we'd thank him? God, he's so pathetic. Let him have his little moment. He'll pay for everything and disappear again. He always does. The recording ends with Julian chuckling. Classic Elias. Useful and invisible. Best kind of brother. I've listened to it maybe 100 times. Not because it hurts anymore. Because it finally set me free. So here I am. Still owning the restaurant. Still paying the light bill on a neon sign that now just reads Haven in soft amber. I took their names off it the day the story broke. Sometimes late at night I walk through the empty dining room and run my fingers over the bar where they toasted without me. And I whisper the only truth that matters anymore. I'm not invisible. I just stopped letting them turn down the lights. If this ever happens to you, if you've ever smiled while they erased you, paid while they posted, loved while they forgot you existed, tell me in the comments. Would you have sent the invoice? Or would you still be waiting for a thank you that never comes? I'll read every single one. Because I finally learned the most expensive thing in the world isn't a wedding. It's the price of your own silence.